Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Robyn had always prided herself on being the patient, understanding wife in Kody Brown's plural marriage. She had weathered the storms of sister-wives drama, the shifting alliances among the wives, and Kody's often unpredictable moods. But nothing could have prepared her for what she walked in on that evening, the sight that would forever shatter her trust and redefine the meaning of betrayal in their family. It had been an ordinary day, or so she thought. The Arizona heat lingered even as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the Coyote Pass property. Robyn had been running errands, picking up groceries, and tending to the kids, while Kody had claimed he was busy with business meetings. She didn't think much of it. Kody often had projects he was working on, and she had learned not to question him too much. But when she returned home earlier than expected, an unsettling feeling gnawed at her. The house was too quiet, the air thick with tension, or was it secrecy? She moved through the dimly lit hallway, her footsteps muffled by the plush carpet. Then she heard it, the faint sound of laughter, intimate and hushed, coming from Aurora's room. Aurora, her sweet, trusting daughter, the one who had always been so loyal, so devoted to the family. Robyn's heart pounded as she approached the door, which was slightly ajar. The scene before her would be seared into her memory forever. There, in the soft glow of Aurora's bedside lamp, was Kody, her husband, the patriarch of their family, locked in an embrace that was anything but fatherly. His hands were tangled in Aurora's hair, their lips pressed together in a kiss that spoke of forbidden passion, not familial affection. Robyn's breath caught in her throat, her body frozen in shock. This wasn't just a fleeting moment of poor judgment, this was a full-blown betrayal, a violation of the sacred trust between a father figure and a daughter. Aurora was the first to notice her. The young woman's eyes flew open, widening in horror as she saw Robyn standing there, her face a mask of disbelief and devastation. She shoved Kody away, her cheeks flushing crimson with shame. "Mom," she stammered, but no explanation could undo what Robyn had just witnessed. Kody turned, his expression shifting from surprise to guilt, then to something resembling defiance. "Robyn," he began, his voice low, "this isn't what it looks like." Robyn's hands trembled, her vision blurring with unshed tears. "Not what it looks like," she repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. "I see my husband kissing my daughter, and you're going to stand there and lie to me?" The air in the room grew heavier, suffocating. Aurora buried her face in her hands, sobbing quietly, while Kody ran a hand through his hair, struggling to find the right words. But there were no right words, no justification, no excuse that could make this right. The man Robyn had loved, the man she had defended against the other wives, had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. For years, Robyn had been the peacemaker, the one who smoothed over conflicts and kept the family together. But this was beyond repair. The foundation of their marriage, their entire family structure, had been cracked beyond recognition. She thought of the other wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and wondered if they had ever suspected something like this. Had they seen the signs she had missed? Had Kody's favoritism toward Aurora always been something darker, something more twisted than mere parental affection? Robyn took a step back, her legs threatening to give way beneath her. "Get out," she whispered, her voice shaking with rage and heartbreak. "Both of you, get out of my sight." Kody reached for her, but she recoiled as if burned. "Robyn, please, let's talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about," she snapped, her tears finally breaking free. "You've destroyed everything. How could you? How could either of you?" Aurora was crying openly now, her shoulders shaking with each sob. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I never meant." "Stop," Robyn cut her off, her voice sharp with pain. "Just stop." She turned and walked away, her mind racing, her heart shattered. The house that had once been her sanctuary now felt like a prison of lies and deceit. She didn't know what came next, divorce? Confrontation with the rest of the family? Public humiliation when the truth inevitably came out? All she knew was that the life she had built with Kody was over, destroyed in an instant by his unforgivable actions. As she stepped out into the cool night air, Robyn realized that the worst part wasn't just the betrayal, it was the shame. The crushing, suffocating shame of knowing that the man she loved had preyed upon her own daughter, and that she had been blind to it for far too long. And this time, there would be no forgiveness. The Brown family had always been a complex web of relationships, but nothing could have prepared Robyn for what she witnessed that evening. The house was quiet, most of the family out running errands or tending to their own lives. Robyn had just returned from a quick grocery run, expecting to find Kody alone in his study or perhaps watching TV in the living room. But as she stepped into the dimly lit hallway, she heard hushed whispers coming from Aurora's room. At first, she assumed it was just one of the girls chatting with a friend or watching a movie. But then she recognized Kody's voice, low, intimate, not the tone of a father figure speaking to his stepdaughter. Her stomach twisted. She moved closer, her hand hovering over the doorknob, torn between barging in and retreating to avoid whatever was happening. But curiosity, or perhaps dread, won out. She pushed the door open just enough to see inside. And there they were. Kody stood close to Aurora, his fingers brushing against her cheek in a way that was far too tender for their supposed relationship. Aurora's eyes were wide, her lips slightly parted, as if caught between guilt and anticipation. The air between them was thick with something Robyn couldn't, or didn't want to, name. Kody? Robyn's voice cracked as she spoke, her body trembling with a mix of fury and disbelief. Both of them jerked apart, their faces flushing with guilt. Aurora's hands flew to her mouth, her eyes darting to Robyn in panic. Kody, ever the smooth talker, tried to compose himself, but the shame in his expression was undeniable. Robyn, it's not what it looks like. Don't. She cut him off, her voice shaking. Don't you dare lie to me right now. Aurora looked like she wanted to disappear, her face burning with humiliation. Robyn, we weren't. But Robyn wasn't listening. The woman who had fought so hard to keep her family together, who had defended Kody through every controversy, now felt the sting of betrayal deeper than ever. This wasn't just an argument over time or attention, this was a line crossed, a trust shattered. Kody reached for her, but Robyn stepped back as if burned. How long, she demanded. How long has this been going on behind my back? He hesitated, and that pause told her everything. It wasn't a one-time mistake. This had been building, hidden in stolen glances and secret touches. Aurora burst into tears, sinking onto her bed. I didn't mean for this to happen. Robyn's laugh was hollow. Of course you didn't. And yet here we are. Kody, ever the manipulator, tried to shift blame. Robyn, you know how strained things have been. The family's falling apart, and Aurora has been there for me in a way no one else has. That's no excuse. Robyn snapped. She's your stepdaughter. Or have you forgotten that? The weight of the situation crashed down on all of them. Aurora sobbed into her hands, Kody stood frozen in shame, and Robyn felt the last shred of her trust in him dissolve. The worst part? She had seen the signs. The way Kody always lingered near Aurora, the extra attention he gave her, the whispered conversations that stopped when she entered the room. She had ignored it, told herself she was imagining things. But now, faced with the undeniable truth, she couldn't unsee it. Without another word, Robyn turned and walked out, her mind racing. The family was already fractured, but this? This was the final blow. And as the door slammed behind her, she knew one thing for certain, nothing would ever be the same again.